Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I will be speaking in English. I understand there's translation arranged. Yes. I don't see it, but... Oh. Okay. Are the earphones working? And all of us without earphones, we are... Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is leaving Jagannath Puri soon after he has arrived there. 2 or 3 months after he has arrived, he's leaving for South India. And it says that on his way, as he traveled south, he would chant. What would he chant? Would he chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare? Was he chanting this? Huh? Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hey, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hey, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hey, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rakshamam. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. That's what he would chant. Yes. What means hey? What does it mean in Slovenian? Hey, hey you. Hey means hey. Huh? Okay, it means same thing. You got it from the Sanskrit. Okay, so calling out to Krishna, hey Krishna, oh Krishna, hey, hey, hey Krishna, hey you. Calling out Krishna, and then Rakshamam, please protect me, and Pahimam, please maintain me. Now we might say Rakshamam, Pahimam, that sounds not so spiritual, that sounds like a little bit selfish. Protect me, maintain me. Well, in this day and age, as the credit crunch keeps crunching on, people start wondering, how am I going to be protected? How am I going to be maintained? Especially in America. I don't know about Slovenia, but in America people are asking this. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving the answer. He says the answer is coming very simply by sublime process, chanting Krishna's names. So in a troubled world, Lord Chaitanya comes. We might also say he comes into a violent world to show how to live humbly. How to live humbly in the shelter of Krishna. Now, someone may say, well, shelter of Krishna, but this Krishna that you are talking about, his shelter, okay, but when Krishna was present in the world, from descriptions we read, in Srimad Bhagavatam, there was so much violence, and Krishna was participating in that violence. In Vrindavan, one demon is coming, Krishna is killing, another demon is coming, Krishna is killing, another demon is coming, Krishna is killing. Killing, killing, killing. So much killing. So much blood. Yes, this was Krishna. Fighting in big battles. We need some more space. We need to now move in this direction to make more space for more devotees coming. 2, 3 inches forward, please. Yes. There we go. Lord Chaitanya is, of course, we understand, Krishna himself, but he is coming in a different mood. So whereas Krishna was involved in so many battles, and there were so many demons coming and attacking, and he was killing them himself directly or his devotees, so much violence, so much blood. But when Lord Chaitanya comes, there's no violence, there's no blood. There's simply Ananda. Of course, there's one time when Lord Chaitanya almost gets violent, and then Lord Nityananda reminds him, you're coming with a different purpose this time. Put that Sudarshan chakra down. That's for another time. You're getting confused. So Lord Chaitanya shows us how to live in this violent world humbly, taking shelter of Krishna and shelter of Krishna's associates, Krishna's devotees. And I would say like this, to take shelter of Krishna, following Lord Chaitanya means focusing on, although not, and Prabhupada makes this point, not exclusively, but still focusing on what followers of Lord Chaitanya consider the center of Krishna's pastimes, namely the rasa dance, rasa lila, dancing. Krishna, in his eternal pastimes, what is he doing? He's dancing. He's dancing with the gopis, he's dancing with his devotees. He also dances with the gopas, It's not just this, romantic thing. There's also dancing with his friends in the forests of Vrindavan. They have a good time. So this is the center of Krishna's Leela that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers are taking shelter of. And they're taking shelter how? By sadhu sangha, association with devotees, by Krishna seva, by serving Krishna, by serving deities of Krishna, and also Lord Chaitanya, by hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, studying the Bhagavatam, reflecting on the Bhagavatam, and its extension, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, by taking shelter especially of the name of Krishna, 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 hey. And of course, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And also by living with Krishna in Vrindavan, And of course, that can be done in different ways, including physically living in Vrindavan, but also putting Vrindavan in the heart. In this impersonal world, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows us how to be personal. It's not easy, but Lord Chaitanya shows us how to do this, how to be what we're meant to be. We are persons, we are eternal persons. We learn how to be persons by being in relation to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to his associates, his friends, to the devotees. In this way, we can, despite the impersonalism of this world, we can not only survive, we can also thrive. People are very concerned about surviving, but we are interested as devotees in thriving. And of course, we want to make this process of thriving available for others to thrive as well. Also, Lord Chaitanya, we could say, in an ordinary world, he shows how everything can be experienced as extraordinary. The ordinary workaday world, 9 to 5, and so on, all of that. Lord Chaitanya transforms that into an extraordinary world, extraordinary experience. How Lord Chaitanya does this is described in these works such as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And one thing that has struck me about the descriptions of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes is that they are full of descriptions of meetings and partings. So the meetings, we might say, show us what is the joyfulness of Krishna consciousness. When Lord Chaitanya meets his devotees, there is great joy. But then there are partings. When Lord Chaitanya decides, for example, to go to South India, and the devotees in Puri become very distressed. So what kind of joyfulness is that, we may ask? Let's read for a bit about how Lord Chaitanya announces that he's going to leave. Lord Chaitanya says, "I now beg all of you for one bit of charity. Please give me permission to leave for a tour of South India." And then he explains, he has to kind of make an excuse why he's going to South India. Lord Chaitanya had an older brother. His name was Vishvarupa. Vishvarupa was inspired by Advaita Acharya, at least according to Sachimata. He was inspired to take to the renounced order of life. And when he took to the renounced order of life, of course, that meant leaving home. And Sachimata, the mother of Vishvarupa, you can imagine, was greatly pained. He left, and one never heard from him again. Imagine you're a mother, and your son, at the age of being maybe a teenager, decides to leave home, and you never hear from him again. How painful that would be. That was Vishvarupa. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the younger son, decided, first of all, he also decided to take sannyas. That was another problem, which was hugely painful for Mother Sachi. We come back to that. But now The devotees in Jagannath Puri, who are so much attached to Mahaprabhu, don't want him to leave, but he wants to go to find his brother. Well, this is actually just an excuse. If he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that means he knows that Vishvarupa is already gone, that he will not be finding him in this life. But he says, please forgive me, I want to go alone, I do not wish to take anyone with me. And then Lord Chaitanya explains why he doesn't want to take anyone with him. He says, after accepting the sannyas order, I decided to go to Vrindavan. But you took me instead to the house of Advaita Acharya. He's speaking about Nityananda here. He's complaining. He's explaining now why. He explained he wants to go to this house because he wants to search for Vishvaru. Then he says, I want to go alone. And now he's explaining why he wants to go alone. It's because the different devotees are giving him trouble. He says, you Nityananda Prabhu, I was on my way to Vrindavan, and what did you do? You hijacked me. You know what hijack is? What's the Slovenian word? Like that. So you took me away to the house of Advaita Acharya. I didn't want to go there. I wanted to go to Vrindavan. You took me to you cheated me. Not only that, while I was on the way here to Jagannath Puri, I entrusted you with my sannyas danda. What did you do with my danda? Huh? You broke my danda? Huh? I asked you to hold my danda, but for you, holding danda meant break danda. He said, I know that all of you have great affection for me, but such things disturb my activities. To speak mildly. Okay, so that's dealing with Nityananda. It says, I've had enough of you for a while, Nityananda. And as for you, Jagadananda, Jagadananda wants me to enjoy bodily sense gratification, and out of fear, I do whatever he tells me. The story is that he brought him some oil for massage, some sandalwood oil, and he made some arrangement for bedding. But Jagadananda is a very heavy sort of character. And Lord Chaitanya himself is afraid of him. So he said, he wants me to, I'm a sannyasi, he wants me to do things which sannyasis are not supposed to do, and I have to do it because if I don't, he gets angry. If I sometimes do something against his desire out of anger, he will not talk to me for 3 days. And of course the reason for this is that Jagadananda is none other than Satyabhama in Krishna Lila. And Satyabhama is Krishna's principal wife, and she is, she's like Jagadananda. She expects certain things to be certain ways, and Krishna has to surrender. Lord Chaitanya goes on to explain how, being a sannyasi, it is my duty to lie down on the ground and take a bath 3 times a day. even during the winter. But Mukunda, third person he's not happy with, Mukunda, I believe is Mukunda Datta, becomes very unhappy when he sees my severe austerities. He doesn't say anything. Mukunda keeps quiet. Jagadananda stays quiet for 3 days. Mukunda doesn't say anything. But I know he's very unhappy within. And because he's unhappy, I become unhappy. And then there's Damodar Pandit. Although I am in the renounced order of life and Damodar is a brahmachari, he still keeps a stick in his hand just to educate me. Damodar was well known for being a kind of disciplinarian. He sometimes would correct Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. There was one occasion when in Jagannath Puri, one young boy would come to see Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya was always very friendly with him. And he would come every day, and Damodar was getting very disturbed about this. He wasn't saying anything, but he was disturbed. And the reason he was disturbed was because this young boy was the son of a widow. And the widow was a young lady, an attractive young lady. And so Damodar was thinking, this is a problem, because people will talk. If a young man, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a young man, 24 years old or so, if he is interacting in a friendly way with this young boy, people will say, so Damodar was getting more and more disturbed about this until practically he exploded. Well, he didn't exactly explode, but he said, "Please, Mahaprabhu, you're making it so difficult. I'm just so worried about your reputation. Please, don't you understand what people will say?" And Lord Chaitanya said, "Oh, all right." So, yes, he says in another chapter, he says about Damodar Pandit, this impudence of Damodar is also a sign of pure love. Shuddha-prema taranga, actually a wave of pure love. For me, Lord Chaitanya speaking, I have no other intimate friend more antaranga like Damodar Pandit. Antaranga means a part of oneself which is inside. Antar means within, anga, a part. So I have no one who is such a part of myself as Damodar. But here he's saying, this Damodar, he's always giving me trouble. Enough. Damodar Pandit and others are more advanced in receiving the mercy of Lord Krishna. Therefore, they are independent of public opinion. As such, they want me to enjoy sense gratification even though it be unethical. But since I am a poor sannyasi, I cannot abandon the duties of the renounced order, and therefore I follow them strictly. So he says, you all please just remain here in Nilachal, in Puri, and I will go by myself to the south. Well, there's some discussion and the conclusion is reached, no, he can't really go completely by himself, he has to have some help. He has to at least have someone who will carry his danda for him and his water pot and his cloth. Because he's going to be wanting to chant Hare Krishna, and he's going to want to chant. Actually, apparently at that time he was not chanting on beads, but he was chanting on his fingers, counting on the fingers. It's another way to keep track of japa. If you forget your beads, you can try it. You can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, etc. And this way you can also remember Lord Chaitanya, that he was doing like this. So he was busy chanting, counting with his fingers, I think tens or hundreds on one side and single on the other. I don't know exactly how. So that takes quite some concentration, actually. We chant with our beads. This, I think, is the mercy of the followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They make it easy for us. Okay, so Nityananda Prabhu works out an arrangement that Krishnadas, Kala Krishnadas, is going to go with Lord Chaitanya to the south. Now, I just want to mention a devotee of Lord Chaitanya who is lesser mentioned, lesser known, because we hear about the famous devotees of Lord Chaitanya, his associates. What about those who are sort of more in between ourselves, our insignificant selves, and Lord Chaitanya? Maybe this is not the best choice, because in many ways he is actually a very important devotee, but he's simply not so much mentioned. And that is Paramananda Puri. We hear that Lord Chaitanya's mission is compared to a tree, and that this tree has roots, 9 roots to be exact, and one of the roots is Paramananda Puri. And in fact, he is considered to be the central root of the tree of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. So here's a little bit of information about Paramananda Puri. As you'll see, he is very much appreciated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he gives us a sense of what it's like to be a devotee of Lord Chaitanya in this world. Lord Chaitanya has gone to the south. He has, I believe he's already arrived at Sri Ranga, and after this, if I'm not mistaken, he continues further south. And he meets with Paramananda Puri, who is he is a sannyasi, and he is a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Because he's a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, this makes him a godbrother of Ishvara Puri. Ishvara Puri is the, we would say, Diksha Guru of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ishvara Puri gave to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the blessings to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sees Paramananda Puri as equal to his spiritual master, and he respects him in this way. Krishnadas Kaviraj, as I said, refers to him as the central root of the tree, of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, and he describes him as grave and sober. Now you may say, well, I thought that all the associates of Lord Chaitanya are always joyful. What is this grave and sober? Yes, this is another mood in which some of the devotees of Lord Chaitanya are to be found. Sometimes devotees are grave and sober, and Paramananda Puri is an ideal example of this. Paramananda Puri, as Lord Chaitanya met him, was on the way north. Lord Chaitanya is going south, he's going north. He wants to go to the Ganga. Sadhus in India are like this. They are wandering from one holy place to another all over India. Some of them are on permanent pilgrimage. So Paramananda was like that. He was on his way to the Ganga. So Lord Chaitanya spent some time with him and became so happy in his association that he said, that's all right, you want to go to the Ganga, but please, after you go to the Ganga, please come back south and come to Puri, Jagannath Puri. And when I come back from the south, we can meet in Puri. So he agreed. And so it happened that when Lord Chaitanya, after he finished his southern tour of South India, came back to Puri, he arranged for his servant, Kala Krishnadas, who by this time had been kidnapped by the Bhattatari gypsies, and Lord Chaitanya had to run after him and catch him and bring him back from becoming deviated with these sort of tribal type people. After having rescued him, brought him back to Puri, he said, Kala Krishnadas, will you please go? Another disappointment, a different kind of disappointment. Will you please go to Navadvip and announce to the devotees in Navadvip that I have arrived back in Puri? So he does this. He goes to Navadvip. He goes to the house of Mother Sachi, and at the house of Mother Sachi, Paramananda Puri is there. So when he announces, when Kala Krishnadas announces that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has returned to Puri, of course all the devotees of Navadvip are very happy. This means, this is a signal, this is a sign. Now they can again come to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri. This is what they are always waiting for. Each year, just as we come together on Gaura Purnima to celebrate the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so they come in the summertime, they come to Puri to join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to dance with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Rath Yatra festival. So Paramananda Puri very happily agrees that he will also come with the devotees and join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri. Vrindavan Das Thakur says, among all his sannyas associates, no one was as dear to the Lord as Paramananda Puri Goswami. Swarup Damodar and Paramananda Puri were the most qualified of the Lord's sannyas associates. The two of them remained constantly in the Lord's company, taking the staff of renunciation for the sake of the Lord. Paramananda Puri engaged primarily in meditation, while Swarup Damodar was devoted to kirtan. They were like two arms of the Lord's sannyas form. So Lord Chaitanya had taken the sannyas order, he had given up his home, his mother Sachi was left in Navadvip, most painful to her, and yet it became a situation for Mother Sachi to remember her son, her Lord, constantly, as she would offer every day food to him. And Lord Chaitanya sends another message to Mother Sachi through Damodar Pandit, who again he's sending away because maybe he can do some service elsewhere for some time, please. He sends him to Navadvip to take care of his mother. And he says, my dear Damodar, you please tell Mother Sachi that you remind her of this particular time. I am coming so many times when she is offering the food and she gets confused. She thinks, oh, maybe I didn't offer. The plate is empty. I'm so spaced out, we would say. And she goes and fills up the plate. The same thing happens on the Makara Sankranti, says Chaitanya, to tell Damodar, to tell her, that's on that particular day I have come. I have come to receive your devoted offering. I receive it, I take it. Why? Because of your Mother Sachi's pure devotion. So the Lord, we learn from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu how the Lord runs to where devotion for him is being practiced. When he sees that devotion, Lord Chaitanya comes running. The medium, again and again, and this is one reason to read Chaitanya Charitamrita, especially on days of fasting. The medium of this love is food. Don't mind. I know many or most of you have been fasting, but we must mention that the devotional glue that is holding everyone together in Chaitanya Lila and in the Hare Krishna movement established by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is prasadam, right? Haribo. Srila Prabhupada said this movement, Hare Krishna movement, is so nice. Why? Because it's constituted of chanting, dancing, and feasting. Yes. What's the word for feasting in Slovenian? Pojedina. 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 And chanting? Petya. Pitya. Oh, sorry, I said something wrong. Whoops. Yeah, that we also do. We drink nectar. We don't drink pivo. Amrita. Pojedina. Blesanya. That's dancing. Okay. I won't try anymore to pronounce. Chanting, dancing, feasting. This is this is what makes this Hare Krishna movement, this society, what it is. But I think it's nice to remember that Lord Chaitanya is bringing this with his many different types of devotees, some of whom are, little strange, and some of them who are a little special, and some who are having different ideas, and some who are having no ideas. There are all kinds of devotees, and Lord Chaitanya, sometimes he says, okay, enough of you people, I'm going south. But then he comes back. And when he comes back, he is, of course, very joyfully celebrating with them. Of course, at the end of his life, the several years of the last period of his life, Lord Chaitanya becomes, in some ways, quite reclusive. He spends his days in the Gambhira, and what is he doing in the Gambhira? He's simply longing for Krishna. He is deeply absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, and intensely, we cannot imagine how intensely longing for Krishna. And this, you might say, is in a mood which doesn't seem at all joyful. He's sometimes banging his head against the wall. Sometimes blood is coming. What kind of joyfulness is that? It is the joy of giving himself completely to the Lord. So this is really what the Lord, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, teaches, and what he shows, what he demonstrates. The giving of himself completely to Krishna. And then his devotees feel that all they want to do is give themselves to him. And then he goes away and they feel emptiness, just as Lord Chaitanya feels emptiness in the absence of Krishna, just as he feels yugaitam nimeshana chakshusha pravishaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam Govinda virahena me. In the absence, viraha, of Govinda, of Krishna, then the jagat, the world, becomes empty, shunya. Now this shunya, of course, Srila Prabhupada is nirvishesha shunyavadi paschatya desha tarin. He is the one who delivers us from the emptiness of the philosophy of emptiness. Lord Chaitanya's philosophy is certainly not a philosophy of emptiness. But at the same time, he makes us recognize how empty the world is without Krishna. And in that recognition, then the world suddenly can become full with Krishna consciousness as we engage in the service of Lord Chaitanya and his devotees. As we engage in service according to the formula that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given, Trinadapi Sunichena Taroriva Sahishana Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. We can fill our hearts with the name of Krishna simply by being humble, being tolerant, and offering respects, being ready to offer respects to others, and not expecting any respect for ourselves. This fills us then it fills the world with Krishna consciousness. And at the same time, we may feel some emptiness. Why is it that these people who are not aware of this mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how is it that they go on? How can they carry on as they do, as if everything is all right? How is it possible? It is not possible. Let them realize that things are not all right. Let us help everyone understand this world is not an all right place. I'm okay, you're okay. No, I am not okay. You are not okay. This also Lord Chaitanya is teaching. We are not all right in this world. There is another world. There is a spiritual world where we belong. And we can immediately connect to that world through Krishna's name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we feel joyful on the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya, which is also the day of Holi, by the way. If you're in India this time, in North India at least, you will know. South India also, I don't know. Also, all India. All India is a dangerous place on this day because you will be covered in all kinds of colors. But we celebrate especially the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on this day. I want to finish by reading very quickly a song. I think Lord Chaitanya is trying to tell me something. This is a song by one Jagannath Das, Shri Panchatattva, called Phalguna Purnima Titi, the day of Phalguna Purnima. Today is Phalguna Purnima, as well as being Gaura Purnima. Phalguna Purnima Titi Shubhaga Shakali Janamala Vivegora Pade Hula Huli. When Lord Gaura takes birth at an auspicious moment during the full moon of Phalgun month, there will be a joyous tumult. Tumult means very loud expressions of joyfulness. Ambare Yamara Shave Bhalo Unnamukha Lobive Janama Gaura Jabe Shavaduka. When Lord Gaura takes birth, the demigods will appear in the sky. They will crane their necks to see him. Crane the neck, that means stretching your neck. Where is he? Where is he? All suffering will flee far away. Shanka Dundubi Bhaje Padama Harishe Jayadvani Suragula Kusuma Barishe. Conch shells and dundubi drums are sounded with great joy. The demigods call out Jai and shower flowers. Kusuma Barishe. Jagabadi Haridvani Utte Gana Gana Abala Vanita Adi Nara Nari Gana. Men, women, children, everyone raise a great tumult of Hari, 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 Hari. A tumult that fills the world. Shubhakane Jani Gura Janama Lavila Purnima Chandra Jena Prakasha Karila. Then, when the full moon was manifest at an auspicious moment, Lord Gaura took birth in this world. Sei Kale Chandre Rahu Karila Grahana Hari Hari Dvani Utte Bariya Bhubana. Then, when Rahu swallowed the moon, a great cry of Hari Hari filled the world. There's no eclipse of the moon. Dina hina udhara haive bela asha Dakya anandavase Jagannatha dasa. Seeing the great hope that the poor fallen people will soon be delivered, Jagannath Das now floats in bliss. And we can also float in bliss, seeing how the poor people of this fallen age are, through this Sankirtan movement, being delivered. So we can celebrate Lord Chaitanya is with us. He is appearing, and he's appearing not only in front of us in his deity form, yes, also with his associates. He's also appearing in our hearts. And we want him to expand in our hearts so that he will reach out from our hearts to the hearts of others. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Shri Shri Panchatattva ki Jai. Gaura Hari ki Jai. Shri Nimai Pandit ki Jai. Shri Vishwambar ki